let me ask you this. What are you afraid of? What makes you cringe in terror?
Sharks.
Sharks?
Snakes.
Doo-doo, doo-doo. Snakes.
I
Can't do it.
from a child, unreasonably afraid of snakes.
You and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, why did it have to be snakes? Why?
Yep. What are you afraid of?
Cockroaches. Only thing.
There's no
And-
animal fears here.
And tidal waves. I have like an irrational fear of
Tsunami.
tidal waves. I don't know. It's all my my recurring nightmare is a tidal wave.
Mine's being out in the deep ocean, just floating, and anything you can't see underneath, and anything can come up and
Ooh,
bite
yeah.
your legs off.
That's a good
or
one, too.
something.
I actually
So I
find
don't
it
do
worse
that.
to be in water that I can see down. It's like a fear of death or something. I prefer the murky water.
Yeah. What are you afraid of?
Bad Chinese food. You know? But I don't know it's bad at the time. I find out later.
You still eat it?
No, I don't find out until later.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, like
You
you,
suffer the
you've
consequences.
obviously suffered this at one
I
point.
have, but I love
And you've gone back.
Eaten at the strangest places all through rural
Yes.
China and love it. But sometimes you
Doesn't
pay a
live there.
price. Sometimes you pay a
Yeah.
price. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we have, like I will admit to fear of snakes, but I wonder if we have other fears that we suppress that are really the booger bears that are controlling our lives, but we won't face them.
Sure.
I've always known I didn't want to fail at anything, but I think only in the last 5 years did I realize I have a fear of failure. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fail, but is it a fear that can just be bad in terms of the impact it has? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
Yeah. Mine would be rejection. Fear of rejection.
Marrying the wrong person.
I definitely have that fear.
Thanks, everyone. That's great. And now, Laura, you're going to help us grapple with this thing called fear.
Yeah. My name is Laura Landon, and I'm a songwriter and singer. And I have struggled with fear my whole life. Like, if there's one thing that's my thing, it's definitely fear. And especially as an artist, fear is so crippling because I think, like you were saying, Randy, rejection is just like one of the scariest things to me, and I think so many people, because our deepest heart longing is to belong, is to be accepted, is to be included, is to be loved. And so my fear is that if I create something, it's going to be rejected, and thereby I'm going to be rejected. I'm going to be excluded because of what I create. Or in relationships, it's so sabotaging because it's like, if I show my true self, if I give myself to this, I might be rejected, I might be excluded. And as human beings, we just want to be loved, we just want to be included. And so hear me when I say this, and it's not Christianese, but when Jesus said perfect love casts out all fear, I really believe that that's true. When you have a love, whether it's like you were saying, your boyfriend, or for me, so many times it's my mom's unconditional love, to fall into, to fall back on, so that you can face your fears, that fear, okay, if I create this music and they reject it and I'm excluded, I know that there's love that will include me and embrace me, no matter what I do, no matter who I am. That perfect love can help me stand against and face those fears and cast them out. So I think it's so cliche, but love addresses so many of these fears because you can really fall back into it and face the fear. I think it's true that when I have a proper fear for who God made me, and it's more of a reverence. It's not a God's mad at me or I have to do this, but it's just a reverence for life. This is who God made me. This is the purpose for my life. I have to reverence that bigger than my fear of man or my fear of rejection or my other lesser fears. When I have that proper reverence, that proper fear for God, it replaces all the lesser fears of what people might do to me, if I step out. So
Thank you.
That's how I deal with it.
So do you feel like there was a turning point for that, or is that a continual kind of journey of
Oh.
overcoming that?
I'm always afraid. Yeah, I'm always facing fears. Like you said, you don't slay your dragons, you just manage them. So constantly like reminding yourself, constantly falling back into that love, that helps you face them.
Yeah, I can just keep thinking, love is all you need.
Yeah.
The Beatles, timeless. Yeah, great.
It's so powerful. I mean, fear is just so, advertisers know it's the most effective way to sell a product.
Yeah.
Religious leaders know it's the most effective way to keep people in line. Politicians know it's by far the most effective way to get people hating him and liking me and voting for me. So, I mean, we got everything working against us in terms of how much happens in the world to provoke fear in us. And it's hard to escape it. But it doesn't get us anything. I mean, we're not going to do anything better than we otherwise would have because we're scared of it. We're going to be less effective, not more effective. But it's unbelievably powerful and seductive.
And it kind of underrides most of what we've been talking about. It's very
Yeah.
fear driven. Every subject is.
Yeah, Carl Jung calls it angst, an angst that pervades our life. I've been on a media fast since Hurricane Katrina because I heard so many erroneous things that I knew were not going on, that were reported as going on. And then I would be in Central Asia and I would come back and read the paper about the country I was in, just there in Afghanistan, and nothing happened. And there would be all this terror and all these things, and I was exactly at the same place and nothing happened. And so I began to realize, I'm going to do a media fast. But then I go to the gym and I'll see Fox News without any sound, and it'll scare the hell out of me because I'll see all these things and I didn't even know there's this weather terror alert now. And it just used to be weather, and now it's a terror. There's a terror alert with tornadoes. And so just going, I really appreciate what you're saying, David. It's so hard to avoid.
Yeah.
And it so permeates everything we do, this thing called fear.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate, Laura, you talking about that. And I appreciate every one of you guys being a part of this panel. It's been fascinating to hear your different views and to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much.